Hi family, today we are going to see introverts and extroverts. For too long, the world has framed this as a simple battle. The loud extrovert versus the quiet introvert. But that's a cartoonish lie. If you've ever felt pressured to be more outgoing, or if you've ever dismissed someone for being too quiet, this video is for you. Hit that like button if you're ready to dive in. Let's get started. Actually, introvert people mostly comfortable and peaceful when they are alone or in a quiet environment. They enjoy thinking deeply, observing people, and spending time with their own thoughts. At the same time, introverts are not shy or weak, but they prefer meaningful conversations instead of loud crowds. Too much social interaction can make them feel tired, so they recharge their energy by being alone, reading, listening to music, or doing calm activities. But in extrovert, people totally different because extroverts always feels energetic and happy when they are around other people. They enjoy talking, socializing, meeting new people, and being in active environments. And extroverts gain energy from social interaction and often feel bored or lonely when they are alone for a long time. They usually express their thoughts openly and enjoy group activities, parties, and teamwork. You know who has created this term? To truly understand the introvert-extrovert spectrum, we have to go back over a century to the mind that created the terms. The concepts of introvert and extrovert weren't invented by a self-help guru or a TikTok personality. They were introduced in 1921 by a brilliant, and at the time controversial, Swiss psychiatrist named Carl Gustav Jung. So, why did Jung feel the need to invent these terms? He observed that people had two fundamentally different ways of approaching and reacting to the world. He realized that the way our minds are wired creates two primary attitudes, 美潮, and he needed terms to describe these two core orientations. His goal was to understand why one person would thrive in a complex, stimulating environment, while another would find that exact same environment completely draining. It was about creating a framework for understanding differences, not judging them. First of all, we have to see science. Here's the crazy part. The difference is physically in your brain. It comes down to a neurotransmitter called dopamine. Dopamine is the reward chemical. It's what you feel when you win a game, get a promotion, or eat delicious food. Extroverts have a dopamine system that isn't easily satisfied. They need more stimulation, louder music, more people, more risks to get that dopamine hit. Their brains are literally shouting, more. Introverts, on the other hand, are highly sensitive to dopamine. They don't need much to feel stimulated. In fact, too much dopamine makes an introvert feel overstimulated, anxious, and exhausted. Instead, introverts rely on a different neurotransmitter called acetylcholine. Acetylcholine is linked to focus, introspection, and deep thought. It makes you feel good when you're reading, painting, or having a deep one-on-one conversation. So, while the extrovert is chasing the dopamine high of the crowd, the introvert is enjoying the acetylcholine high of the quiet. They are facing four types of problems. Number 1, communication. Number 2, relationship. Number 3, workplace. Number 4, misjudgment. Communication. Extroverts process information by talking it out in real time. They might ramble, revise their thoughts aloud, and ask rapid-fire questions to organize their ideas. Introverts see this as unprepared, disorganized, or dominating. They feel pressured to respond before they've had time to fully process the initial idea and formulate a complete answer. Relationship problems. When they are in a relationship, the extrovert might feel rejected or neglected when the introvert needs to retreat for alone time. The introvert, meanwhile, feels overwhelmed and suffocated by the constant social pressure from the extrovert. Workplace. The modern workplace is inherently biased toward extrovert preferences, leading to two major problems. The meeting. Misunderstanding. Extroverts dominate meetings and brainstorming sessions because they can instantly generate ideas. Introverts often have the best, most thought-out ideas, but they need to process them after the meeting in quiet. The problem is, if they don't speak up immediately, their ideas often go unacknowledged. The open office drain, open plan offices, constant interruptions, and mandatory team building drain the introvert's energy, reducing their capacity for the deep, focused work they excel at. This leads to stress and lower quality output. Misjudgment. Society often equates visibility with leadership and quietness with weakness. This leads to unfair judgments. Introverts often passed over for promotions or perceived as unmotivated, standoffish, or lacking leadership potential, simply because they are not loud, constantly networking, or constantly expressing enthusiasm. Extroverts can be misjudged as shallow, pushy, or lacking depth, simply because they prioritize social interaction and quick, external processing over quiet, internal reflection. Busting the myths. There are 3 massive myths that drive me crazy. Number 1, introverts are shy and hate people. False. Actually, shyness is a fear of social judgment. Introversion is a preference for lower stimulation. You can be a shy extrovert, someone who craves the party, but is terrified to walk in. You can also be a confident introvert, someone who can give a killer speech to 1,000 people, but then immediately needs to go sit in a dark room for an hour to recover. Introverts love people. They just prefer them in small doses. Number 2, extroverts are shallow. We often assume the quiet person in the corner is deep, and the loud person is surface level. False. Extroverts process their thoughts out loud. They need to talk to think. Introverts process internally. Just because an extrovert is talking fast doesn't mean they aren't thinking deeply. They're just doing their brainstorming in real time. Number 3, you can fix yourself. Society often tells introverts to come out of their shell, or tells extroverts to settle down. But remember the brain scan? You can't just fix your dopamine receptors. You have to work with them, not against them. When an extrovert feels a strong emotion, happiness, stress, or anger, their natural story is to talk it out immediately to find relief and clarity. They process feelings like a running stream, visible and flowing. However, an introvert's emotional story happens deep inside their mind, like a quiet lake reflecting the sky. They need time and silence to fully understand what they are feeling. When these 2 emotional styles meet, the extrovert might tell the introvert, "Just talk to me," and the introvert might silently plead, "Just leave me alone for a minute." Neither is wrong. They just have different needs for telling their emotional story. My opinion is, before we wrap up, we want to give you our final opinion on this entire debate. For me, the entire introvert versus extrovert battle is a false choice. After researching Jung and the modern science of energy, my final opinion is this. The truly successful people are not introverts or extroverts. They are strategic, self-aware individuals. Success isn't about being one type. It's about using your type. If you're an introvert, stop exhausting yourself by trying to be the loudest person in the room. Win by using your superior preparation and depth. If you're an extrovert, stop seeing quiet time as a waste. Use scheduled reflection to turn your fast-flowing ideas into bulletproof strategies. The moment you honor your own energy source and stop apologizing for your natural wiring is the moment you unlock true, sustainable achievement in life. If this video gave you a new way to understand yourself or the people around you, please support the channel. Hit that like button, subscribe right now.